up, guys? Welcome to the Boys of Fall podcast. Today, we're going to do a quick, I don't have a whole lot of information, a quick breakdown on the UNLV versus Kansas game and the Arizona versus Kansas State game. We then, of course, have a plethora of games to get into for Saturday. Remember, tonight on this very YouTube at lunchtime in the lab, we are going to be checking out the Saturday full college slate. Myself, Ty will not be on this episode. I'm going to have D-Rock on instead. I'll have 5 plays. D-Rock will have 5 plays, and he actually lives in a state that has props available to him, so he's going to have a couple prop bets for us too. UNLV versus Kansas. I'll tell you what, right away, both of these games, I like the dogs. And I know it's a little scary. You got Friday Night Lights. We got the theme song we just got to listen to. Friday Night Lights at home. And we got UNLV coming into Kansas. We got Arizona coming into Kansas. And are these guys going to come in and upset? Are they going to, outright, they're going to keep it close? I personally believe that UNLV and Arizona has the potential to win these games. UNLV is a plus 265. Arizona is a plus 205. Both of those dogs right now, looking at FanDuel, plus 1,013. I think they're live dogs, but we're going to go ahead and take the points with both of these games. We're going to go UNLV plus 9.5. UNLV is 2-0 straight up, 2-0 ATS. Kansas is 1-1 straight up, 0-2 ATS. They had a loss against Illinois. They were 6.5-point favorites, and they lost that game outright. UNLV beat a pretty good Houston team as their FBS opponent, and then both teams have an FCS win for them. However, the UNLV beat, I don't even remember who they played. They won 72-14. They're tuned up. They're ready to go. They had a very convincing win compared to what Kansas put up. Barry Odom, the coach for UNLV, is 12-4 ATS at UNLV. He covers, man. He wins by enough points and he loses by, enough points to not cover. And he's getting it done. The old offensive coordinator from Kansas is now at Penn State. And I don't know if you guys can notice or not, or you guys have been able to tell or not. Penn State's throwing the ball a lot better than they had in the past in their first couple games. Kansas has not looked good. Daniels has not looked good. Daniels has never been a guy to have many turnovers. He's got 4 interceptions already through 3 last games. He's thrown for less than 150 in both games. I mean, we're talking the star quarterback for Kansas. Last year he was supposed to be, it was the all-conference, preseason all-conference, whatever. Hurt his back. Really hasn't looked the same. UNLV runs the ball like crazy, but they run at tempo. They call it a go-go offense. I mean, they run the ball. They've got a mobile quarterback that came over from the FCS at Holy Cross. I believe he's leading the team in rush yards. They've got a solid running back. They've got a pretty good wide receiver as well. I just don't think Kansas right now, they're moving the wrong direction. UNLV is moving the right direction. I think UNLV covers this line pretty easily at plus 9.5. I would certainly sprinkle on that money line plus 265 there for that. Then at 8 o'clock, we have, the game of the day, Arizona, Kansas State. I think I would lean over here. I say it all the time. If you like the dog, you like over. And I think we have the potential to have a heck of a shootout here. I mean, we've got some good players on both sides of the ball. Both teams are 2-0. I just feel that Arizona's had just much more convincing wins. Kansas State's lucky to have walked away with the win against Tulane last week, man. I was on Kansas State just money line last week, and I was sweating. They barely beat Tulane. I mean, they let this red shirt freshman from Tulane, I forget his first name, Menza is his last name, threw for 342 yards, 2 touchdowns against them. And I tell you what, Noah Fafita is much better than him. He threw for 442 yards in the first game of this year. He's thrown for 3,300 yards, 30 touchdowns since taking over the leading role from last year. Arizona, McMillan, very likely to be the number 1 draft pick number 1 wide receiver pick in next year's draft in the NFL. The dude's solid. The dude's good. I think Fafita's going to have a day. I think Arizona wins this game outright. This was over 6.5 to start, if I'm not mistaken. It has come down to 6.5. You can see 6.5 pretty much everywhere. I looked into buying it up to 7.5. You're looking minus 146, minus 140 at some books, and it's just too much juice to pay. And this is a spot where I think if Kansas State wins, it's going to be a last-second field goal. Arizona, I think, goes out and gets this win, guys. I'm telling you. Sprinkle on this money line, too. officially for today's podcast, we're going to ride UNLV plus 9.5. We're going to be on Arizona plus 6.5. And I tell you what, I would not be surprised if both of these teams win. Reminder, guys, before I get out of here, before I play this outro for you again, that we are going to be live at 8:30 tonight. Myself and D-Rock, set an alarm, set whatever. If you miss it, that's all right. You can watch it recorded. You have all Friday night. You have all Saturday morning to pop in. The show's only going to be 30 to 45 minutes. It doesn't take too long. Have it on in the background while you're researching. But yeah, appreciate you guys, and I will catch you guys back tonight for the Boys of Fall full podcast.